You're listening to Witch Wednesdays, your weekly podcast source for all things witchcraft in the modern world. Join your hosts, Steph and Tara, every Wednesday morning as they dive into a new witchy topic. Welcome back to Witch Wednesdays. This is Steph.
And this is Tara.
And you're listening to episode 29, Working with the Fae.
Woohoo!
So this will be a relatively short one.
Just jinxed us now.
Yes. So we just wanted to give you an introduction to what the Fae are and working with the Fae, because we've kind of mentioned them in other episodes where we talked about, trooping of the Fae at Letha and all of that. So we just kind of wanted to give an overview of what that actually means.
Yes, who the Fae are.
Yes. So when we say Fae, it is spelled F-A-E. That is the Fae world, and it encompasses a lot of fairies. And fairies is spelled F-A-E-R-I-E-S. So if you're looking it up, it's not the traditional word fairies.
Correct.
So we should say that there are many, many different creatures in the Fae world that are very different in appearance. So traditional fairies, like when you think of Tinkerbell, that's only one of the many. Yes, varieties. So when we say the Fae world and fairies, we're talking about everything, but there is a subset of actual little Tinkerbell fairies.
Yes. But
it also includes elves, brownies, gnomes, and even unicorns are considered Fae world.
Yep.
The Fae and fairies are considered nature spirits. They derive mostly from Celtic traditions. This is where it all comes down from.
Yes.
So having said that, working with the Fae is very interesting. So they are, you might have heard negative things because they are tricksters. They are always finding loopholes. You might have heard the superstition that you should never tell a fairy your real name because then they have power over you. All of those things. So when you hear those like negative things, you're like, well, why would I even want to work with them in my witchcraft practice? And you might not. There are plenty of witches who, although they recognize that the Fae realm exists, they avoid working with the Fae in their workings.
So and you don't have to work with the Fae. If you're uncomfortable with them, again, like always, trust your gut.
Yes. You should always do what works for you. But the reason why you might want to work with them is that they are very, very powerful.
Yes. A little goes a long way.
Yes. So the reason that a lot of people start working with the Fae is because they have been trying spells in certain areas and just not getting the results that they want. It's just either not working at all or it's not working well. Then people will often turn to the Fae because they feel, a sort of connection with them, and the Fae are very, very powerful. So if they decide to help you, that is just going to give your magic a huge boost.
Big boost. Yep.
But you should definitely be prepared before you decide to start working with them.
Yes.
So when you decide that you are going to work with the Fae, any sort of category, it's the same thing if you think of it as like working with a stranger. You would not go up to a stranger on the street and ask a big favor of them and then expect them to help you. They have no idea who you are. Ask them for $1,000 or something like that. They're not going to help you. You're asking a big favor of them. They have no idea who you are. So the Fae work exactly the same way. You need to offer something and you need to build a relationship with them first. It just, like establishing a friendship. You want to try to connect with them, talk to them, and let them know that you want to work with them. Instead of just saying, hey, here, this is what I want. You have no idea who I am, but this is what I'm asking for. You don't want to go about it that way because you're just going to make them angry.
That's when the trickster comes in. That's
yes. The Fae are more often felt than seen, but there are a lot of reports of people having seen them, especially during that whole trooping of the Fae time that we talked about. But you mostly feel their presence, especially in nature.
Yes, they're very much nature spirits. You've probably heard of fairy circles and things like that. Yeah.
Yes. So what you want to do, if you're going to start working with them, is to leave them offerings. Since they are associated with nature, the best place to leave these offerings is out in nature. So like pick a tree or your garden or something like that. That's the best place to kind of contact them. And you want to choose your words very carefully when you are leaving an offering. The Fae don't like it when you say thank you.
Yeah, never say thank you. That puts you in their debt. And
yes, they don't like it. They want you to say, I appreciate you, or you are most kind for offering your assistance. But you don't say the words, thank you. Just a little tid. As for what to leave, this is a lot of trial and error because certain Fae are very specific in what they like. They usually like berry cakes, milk, honey, oats, and breads. They also like apples, fairy wine, herbal teas, shiny things like coins or earrings. So you just might want to do a little test, trial and error, see what works, see what gets you the best results. And they are, obviously, since they are nature spirits, tending to nature is one of the best ways that you can make an offering to them. So planting seeds and flowers, picking up litter is a great way. And they are also drawn to music and parties.
Mm-hmm.
As for what to avoid offering them, obviously they don't want cut or picked flowers because, like, why would you cut something, like kill something in nature and then offer it to a nature spirit? That's just obviously not going to work. Same reason they do not like plastic or other synthetics because those are very harmful to the environment.
Yep.
Don't leave chocolate. They like berry cakes, but not anything with chocolate because chocolate is not just poisonous to dogs, it's poisonous to a lot of animals.
Yeah. Don't leave anything with like fake sugar in it also.
Yeah. Since you're leaving it out in nature, it's very likely that some other animal will stumble across it. So you don't want to leave anything that would poison
anything in nature, and you are going to get the opposite of what you're looking for.
Exactly. And another thing that they do not like is pink Himalayan salt because it contains iron, and the Fae hate iron, which, on the other hand, if you are trying to sort of avoid the Fae in your working or you're having trouble with a particular one, then using iron like on your altar or on your person is a good way to get them to leave you alone.
Yep.
So as far as Fae and witchcraft go, there are a lot of different ways that they are particularly helpful. They buffer negative energy and depression because when you think of like traditional fairies, they're very optimistic and, you know, they have fairy dust and they promote wonder and all of those things. All of those things are true. So if you are a very anxious person or are otherwise feeling down and depressed and you feel like your witchcraft is suffering because of that, drawing on the Fae to work with you, even just if you're meditating or doing sort of, you know, calming spell, something like that, it's good to invoke them to have around you.
Yes.
They also help make the home peaceful and inspire creativity. They're great for assisting in workings related to nature, of course, so gardening or tending to plants in your house, anything like that. They're also great for working with the elements, grounding, healing and purifying, and anything related to joy.
So if you know anything about brownies, which are a type of Fae, they are very traditionally associated with a clean and tidy home in good repair. It's said that if they're pleased while you sleep, they'll actually fix things around your house.
Yep.
But if they're mad at you for doing anything, they will break things around your house. So keep that in mind before you start working with them. Like, if things go badly, it could go very badly.
Yes. So those are just like the intro and the basics. And we'll tell you a little bit about our particular workings. Tara, do you work with any of the Fae?
I do not. I am very much worried that things would go poorly and everything in my house would fall apart. I have a legitimate concern about that. I grew up on tales, though, of brownies and fairies. Still, at certain holidays, I leave out a little container of milk and honey for the Fae. but I do not ask favors because I worry about it not going well. Do you work with the Fae?
I do. I generally do not. I leave out offerings, like in the yard and the garden and stuff, for fae that are traveling through, but I don't usually ask anything of them. But I have a very close relationship with the brownies in my house.
Yeah, I can see
Because
that.
we've been at odds before, so we go back and forth.
See,
So
and that's where my concern is. Like, they can cause some serious damage.
yeah, so we've been at odds before, but yeah, the brownie presence is strong in my house. So brownies are a household spirit. They're from like British folklore. And the best way to think of them, and a thing that they have like the most in common with, is Harry Potter house elves.
Yes.
So
that is an excellent way to think of them.
The only difference is that brownies are free. The house elves in Harry Potter are not free. Yeah. But they are very similar in how they do work around the home, and in the fact that giving them clothing is insulting. So don't do that.
Yeah.
But they work at night while the owners of the house are asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And they do like various chores around the house.
Yes. They keep things in good repair. This is also where like stories such as the cobbler and his elves come from. These are inspired by brownies.
Yes. So when mine are being good, they're very good. So yes. Like the presence of a brownie in a home is generally believed to ensure household prosperity, as long as you are leaving offerings for them.
Yes, we do always have to keep up the gifts.
Yeah, if you're lazy, not taking care of your house, then they cause mischief often in the form of your things going missing, which has happened to me before. Like, we have a lot of random things that have gone missing in this house, and it's only me and John, and the dog really doesn't, our dog does not like get into stuff or like hide stuff anywhere. And I'm very minimalist and very organized. So when something goes missing, like, it's not me. Like, it's the brownies acting up. So we did something that, like, offended them. But as long as I am leaving offerings and working well with them, this is another one where you don't say, thank you to them. You just leave the offerings and say, I appreciate your assistance, and, like, let's be on good terms. But I do find that if I ignore them, then they get mad. So,
yeah. No, they can cause
if you're insulted, they'll leave your house forever, but mine don't leave. They are here. I know that they're here, and they haven't like left, so I haven't offended them enough to leave. But I find that I leave offerings for them, then everything like goes well, goes smoothly, and the house is prosperous and everything's good. They're like good luck. So
they are good.
Those are the ones that I work with.
Yeah. And I don't mean to say like I'd never work with them, but when things go badly with brownies, it goes badly really quickly, and then it's a guessing game on what did I do. So that's why I personally don't work with them, because I am always in fear that I'm going to insult them unintentionally.
Yeah, we go back and forth. We're in a good place now, but our house we bought 4 years ago, but it was built over 100 years ago. It's pretty traditional Chicago style bungalow that was, early 1919, I think it was built. So
I didn't realize your house was that old.
Yes, it is. Yeah, definitely over 100 years old. So I think the brownies that are here were original to the house. Like, they did not move in when John and I moved in. They aren't tied to either one of us. Like, they weren't in my apartment with me. I think they are tied to this house, which means they were here before me. So yeah. I just respect their space. And yes, we are in a good spot now. And I do think that they are very helpful, because I feel like there's times when I wake up in the morning, if I go into like the kitchen or the bathroom, like I feel like it's like a little bit cleaner than when I left it. And I know it's not John. And I didn't do it.
It's definitely
So,
not done.
so yes, I do think that they are very helpful.
And I don't disagree. In homes that they have a good relationship, everything seems to just work a little bit better. Like, this is a weird example, but my mom totally offended the brownies in their old house. And I swear they were going around and messing with the baseboards in different rooms. Like, you'd be sitting or walking along a hallway or something, and like suddenly a baseboard would just start creaking open. Like, I swear they were messing with me.
That is the only spirit that I really like work with, though, since Hearth Witch and makes sense. But otherwise, I just kind of like leave offerings. I'm not totally opposed to asking other fae and like working with them. I just haven't yet. But if you have any experience with this, then please let us know on Instagram or in the comments on our website, wherever you find us. Yeah, or send us an email and let us know what your interactions have been, whether they've been positive or negative, or if you work with any particular type of fae in your witchcraft practice.
Yes, I always like to hear ones that go well, but the ones that don't go well, I also like to hear, because that validates my decision to be leery.
Yes, so they do make for good stories.
Yes.
But that is all that we have for you this week on the Fae. We will see you next week.
Yay! Follow us on Insta. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Witch Wednesdays with Steph and Tara. Love our content? Consider donating at anchor.fm/witch-wednesdays to help keep our podcast up and running. Please leave us a voicemail on that same site if you have any questions or comments, and follow us on Instagram at Witch Wednesdays Podcast.